Hey everyone, welcome to this Tuesday afternoon, every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Facebook Live. Today the topic is for network marketers. It's how do I know when to quit my job? How do I know when it's safe to? Uh, uh, if you're wondering that, this is the live for you. I am Bess McCarty, founder and coach with the MLM Millionaire Club School for Network Marketers, making network marketing simple, also called the shrink of MLM. I specialize in coaching and communication and skills and clearing mindset of blocks similar to Tony Robbins. And I co-teach in our school with Jeffrey David Gamble. I'm going to bring on the camera right now so that we can both talk with you. Jeff has personally recruited 500 people frontline in network marketing, built teams of over 11,000 people in 7 countries in 3 years, and his teams have produced over 10 million in sales in 3 years. So we love partnering to bring these classes to you. I used to be a full-time network marketer as well, but I'm just dedicated solely to teaching right now. That's my calling. And met Jeff when, how you doing, Jeff? Thanks for coming on.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, everyone. Met Jeff 4 years ago on Eric Worre's page, and we began talking and realized that gosh, we were very compatible, and we have a lot of the same goals, and we'll be teaching together. So I'll explain that a little bit, but would like to get right into our topic for people who are watching. And by the way, if you're watching the replay, we love if you type replay. Love to see where you're from, and say hi to everybody that is come on here. Hi, Max. Glad to see you. Hi, Rhonda. Awesome. And hello to the people that are also watching the replay here. So this topic, and Jeff, I really appreciate you taking time out. Time is our most precious asset, isn't it? And you taking time to hop on. So this is a question that a lot of network marketers have, because at what point when you build your network marketing business, do you know when is a safe and good time to quit your job? A lot of network marketers quit a little bit early and find themselves in a little bit of hot water or under stress, or they thought it was going good, then their business took a change. And so then they have that pressure, like, oh my gosh, you know, I thought I was in solid ground, but it looks like I'm not. So then they have that pressure on them, and their family's pressure on them to make network marketing, make their business really go. So we're going to talk today about how to prevent that, how to make a smooth, seamless transition from job into network marketing, at what point, and the pros and cons every bit of the way. I'd like to welcome Erica and Lynn. Thank you guys for joining. Okie doke. So, Jeff, I know you have at least 3 or 4 guidelines for when network marketers can know that it's a safe time for them to quit their job. And can you share with us what those are?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is that every single person, this is going to be different for every person. Every company has their own standard. Every person has their own individual situation. So this isn't a all for nothing rule, but this is just the basics of it. And here's the unfortunate part. In the companies that I've been in, and I'm going to tell on the industry, I'd rather just people understand and know the facts, so that way you can plan accordingly. But the reality is 80% of the people who hit 6 figures hit it once and never hit it again. They actually fall back the following year. It doesn't mean that they don't move forward again, but businesses do up and down. So if your best month pushes you over 100 grand, it doesn't mean that's always going to be where it's at, because this is business. Business goes up and down. Marketing changes, people change, people get divorced, people get married, different things like that. So the people that I worked with originally had a really, really good formula for going full time. And the worst thing in the world is to create an environment where everybody went too full time too fast, and you have a bunch of starving network marketers all sitting in a room praying that somebody signs up. If that's the case, then you need people. And when you need people, people do not want to join you. I mean, it's a bad situation. You know, if you need them to make rent, if you need them to put food on the table, you should not be full-time. The reality is what is full-time? You know, what is full-time? Full-time is when you have more than enough money that you don't need anybody. You don't need anybody to come in anymore. You don't need any production, any new, you know, you want it to be in renewal form where you would make money regardless if people got in or not. I mean, that would be the best situation to get in, but there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of people forcing people to go full-time way too soon. So this was recommended by, you know, some of the top agents that I used to work with. Number one, is all your debts paid off. And people are like, oh my gosh, how can you live without debt? There are people, it is okay to live without debt. You know, all debt is not bad debt, but all consumer debt is bad debt. So, you know, what if you had all your bills paid off? What if all the credit cards were paid? What if the house payment was gone? What if the cars were all bought in cash? You know, that was the first thing, all debts paid off. The second thing was you have 6 months of your lifestyle's income in the bank. What is your lifestyle? How much do you spend a month? Most people, the problem with most of this is you actually have to be tracking and know what your money is. And most people have no idea. You know, I actually did finance for a number of years. I think 7 years I was in the mortgage business. When I asked most people what they spent their money on and what their bills were, they're like, well, here's the thing. I think I make about $60,000 a year. And I don't know how much I spend. If you don't know how much you spend all of it and then some. You know, that's probably reality. Most people have no idea. And there's certain things you want to track. You want to track how much money's coming in. You want to track how much money's going out. You want to track what your expenses are. You need to know these things. So number one, no debt. Number two, you have 6 months of that income you need in the bank. And number three, the third thing that they said is you need to be able to live off of your network marketing money only for 6 months and just save your job income. Just save it. Now, here's some negatives, downsides to actually going full time. When you don't have a job, you become unrelatable. Everybody thinks it's the greatest thing in the world to be full time. It's not, because now you go from getting the excuses of I don't have time to, well, I don't have time to do that. Of course you can do that. You don't have a job. Of course you can do that. You have all the time in the world. Of course you can do that. You don't have to be anywhere like I have to be somewhere. So the number one thing it does is it takes away the excuse from new people. I mean, we were told in our business, don't you dare quit your job until you're at least, there was a certain level in the business where you had 6 independent groups working for themselves. You know, and then stacks of leadership underneath. I mean, there's a bunch of different requirements, but the worst thing in the world is to quit your job too soon. And then all of a sudden you need your job. And then all of a sudden you're searching for a job. Nothing will destroy momentum or your team more than you being a nervous wreck, having to close people. It's just not a good situation. So number one, debt paid. Number two, 6 months income in the bank. Number three, you can live off of the money from network marketing, not touching any of the job money for at least 6 months, which will allow you to do what? Bank 6 months worth of income. You want to stay at your job as long as possible. As long as possible. Be relatable. Say, hey, I need to cut it down to 4 days. Hey, I need to cut it down to 3 days. See, when you don't need the money, you become an amazing negotiator. Amazing negotiator. Hey, I'm going to need to come in at noon. They're like, well, I don't think that's possible. Well, the alternative is I don't come in at all. What would you like better? Me coming in from noon to about 3 o'clock, or me not coming in at all? Like, I'll still get the same amount of work done. I'll still meet all the requirements. But if your requirement is just for me to show up so you can micromanage, I can go find something else, somewhere else that I can do this from. So what would you like to do? I mean, I've heard the craziest stories. See, when you get into a situation where you have enough money to make decisions like that, like, I don't need this job. One of the people that actually I consulted with, I got trained by this guy named Randy. Randy actually started, see, there's certain people that will make fun of you. There's certain people that will upset you. So he worked in this job where he was a parts manager of an auto dealership. So he worked in the back, and, you know, he had his name on the shirt and everything like that. And they started making fun of Randy. You know, Randy, you still in that network marketing thing? You rich yet? You going to do this? So about 9 months in, he started making pretty decent money. And what he did is he started saving his weekly checks. He started saving them. He wasn't cashing them just to piss off the accounting department, because the accounting manager and the finance manager of the dealership he was in constantly harassed him. So he started saving his paychecks. He wasn't cashing them. He said he actually was able to recruit more people because of saving his checks than any other technique. He's like, nothing I've done since, no marketing technique, nothing has been as powerful as actually saving these checks. So what he did is he saved them up, and every time he went to sponsor people, they'd be like, hey, Randy, show him the checks. He goes, if you fan 4 or 5 or 6 weekly checks in front of people, and he made decent money, he didn't make anything crazy, but he made decent money, people can't even comprehend not having their money for 6 weeks. I mean, can you imagine right now going for 6 weeks without getting any kind of a paycheck at all, just the money that's sitting in your account or coming in from somewhere else? Most people couldn't survive a day. Now here he is 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks in. So at about a 90-day route, most checks are good for somewhere between 90 to 120 days. He saved them for 3 months. He had 3 months of weekly checks.
That's very cool.
And eventually it got so bad that the accounting department called the owner, and they have quarterly meetings. So this guy had to stand up at the quarterly meeting and was like, yeah, we have an accounting problem. Randy's not cashing any of his checks. And the owner's like, what? He's like, yeah, he hasn't cashed a single check in the last 90 days. Everybody was there. All the other managers were there, the dealership, the salespeople, and they were like, huh? He's like, yeah, he hasn't cashed a single check. It's been over 12 weeks since Randy's cashed his checks. So they're like, Randy, you need to cash your checks. He's like, go get them right now, and we'll go cash them right now. He's like, yeah, but I really don't need to. He goes, do you know how fun it is to go to your bank and be like, yeah, I'm going to need to put all these in an account, and you have, 12 or 13 payroll checks to actually put into your account? He goes, but they kept harassing me. He goes, so I saved them for another 90 days until they did it. He goes, the third time around, I had so much money coming in, I decided to leave, because he started making, watch this, he went from making in his business, making no money, to making enough money where he's like, it was really great to actually have enough money where my check for the month was my check for the week. He goes, and then my check for the month in my business was like a check for, almost 2 weeks. And then it went to 3 weeks. And then it went to a month. He's like, it was equal, whatever I got paid for the month, I got paid for the month in the business. And then he was like, then it was 90 days. Then it was 6 months. He got to the point, he goes, what my goal is I want to make a week out of my business what I make a year in network marketing. And he passed it. He passed that number. And he used to talk to guys. It's so funny. He's like, yeah, I used to sit down with guys and they're like, well, you have to understand, I'm an attorney. I make like 70. Now this was 25 years ago. I make like $75,000 a year. And he's like, oh, wow, that's pretty good. He's like, so what do you do with your extra money every month? And the guy's like, what do you mean? He goes, well, if you make $75,000 a month, what do you do with the extra money? He goes, I don't make $75,000. I make $75,000. He goes, oh, I thought you meant a month. He's like, oh, you only make that a year? That's terrible. How do you live off that? So, certain people really try to one up you. And Randy's like, wow, that's pretty decent. I do that in a week. He's like, do you still want to talk to me about money, or should we talk about something else that you actually know about? So it gives you a different perspective. These are just things you want to be. Here's the thing. When you leave, you want your job. He goes, always leave on good terms. Always leave on good terms, because you never know who will end up in your group later, who you might have to work with. Always leave on good terms. Guys, I appreciate the opportunity to work here, even though you don't pay me anything. Even though the pay was garbage and the people were harsh and the politics are outrageous, I am just so happy that I had the experience here to hate you so much that it drove me to go do something else, to be able to leave. And now that I have the ability to leave, I just want to let you know, I will think about you and talk about you every single day at noon when I wake up. Here's some crayons, color me gone. Just something, you have to have your plan there to be able to walk away. What will your day look like when you're able to walk away? When all your debt's paid, you have 6 months of money in the bank. When you have 6 months that you've lived off your network marketing, you can't afford to go to work anymore. It's costing you money to go to work. You want to be in a situation where you're making so much that you just can't go in anymore. What will that conversation be like with the people you work with? How will they remember you leaving? Make it good. Make it memorable. Make it so, when Randy left, his wife called and they planned it out, and, she rented a limo and she had a cake, and, she called up to the cake maker and it's like, yeah, my husband's retiring today. And she went in to get the cake and they said, well, are you here for the retirement? She's like, yeah. She was 27. Your husband's retiring? They said, she's like, those people looked at me like, boy, I bet he robbed the cradle. I don't know what's going on in this situation. He was 31. He was 31, able to walk away, buy back the rest of his life, do what he wanted to do with his time. But here's the thing, you're going to have to pay a price. You're going to have to pay a price. You're going to have to do things you don't want to do. You're going to have to talk to people you don't want to talk to. And what I can tell you is you will have to increase your game. Whatever your game is right now, whatever the amount of people you're talking to right now,
Did we lose you for a moment? Not sure. You're frozen to me, Jeff. I don't know. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear Jeff? It seems like it's frozen for a moment. Can everybody, if you can hear me? Oh, he popped off. Okay. So he'll come back on, I believe. Wasn't that an incredible story and an inspirational story? Especially to let yourself be comfortable enough and quit just at the right time so that pressure is not on you. That makes a huge difference. So many people do quit a little too fast, and then they find themselves kind of in hot water, kind of, wow, this isn't, I guess my business wasn't stable as I thought. Another good idea is to have layers of leaders under you, team builders and leaders, so that you're standing on good solid foundation when that happens. And I love the point about if you quit your job, then that's no longer a real duplicatable example, is it? I know a fellow making about $250,000 a month right now, but he keeps his full-time job because he loves it, and he's building a huge team. But he works like 60 hours a week because he really, really loves his job and helps make a difference in his town. But he is keeping his job partly as an example to show other people that you can still build like this, even when you have a 40 to 60 hour a week job. So as soon as you quit your job, then you can't say that anymore. I love that guy, Randy, kept by not cashing his checks and waving them in front of people and saying, look, I don't need to cash my checks. That probably made him more money than the checks did. So probably the longer that he held off cashing his checks, he made more money because of it. Isn't that interesting? Until the company couldn't stand it anymore with the accounting. Really like that story. And I like leaving on good terms too, because who knows? Your boss, your coworkers, your other teammates at the job may end up working with you as well. I'm going to see if I can invite Jeff back on here. Oh, one moment. Got some more goodies for you all. Let's see if that will work. So I thought this was important to bring to you because you may be wondering this, but also your teammates may be wondering this. So it's good to know what to tell people, what you can advise people. Just a little story about Jeff and me. We met 4 years ago on Eric Worre's page and have been messaging back and forth and talking a little bit back and forth. And it was one night in May this year that we were talking late and long, like a 4-hour talk. And I was sharing with him my Always Get a Yes book and technique to help people to recruit easier. Hello, Tammy, welcome. And he was saying, well, I like the indirect referral invitation myself because it never gets a no. either. So it's also always get a yes. But this technique of his never gets a no, never gets an objection, doesn't get anything about pyramid scheme or anything like that. And so he taught that to me, and I just realized that, oh my gosh, this is the best invitational script I've heard. This is the simplest and most duplicatable. It works with all four personalities. It's so easy for the team to duplicate that I had to teach that. And by the way, what you just heard about how to know when to quit your job, this is just a little sample of the basics class that Jeff and I teach network marketers on Sunday nights, every 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to send him another invite. Maybe he can come back on, but maybe, nope. He must be having some connection difficulties because I did see him in his car. So actually, he was here just in time to share with us a beautiful, beautiful story and these principles. I'm going to repeat that again for the people who just came on, just to summarize what he said. How do you know when you should quit your job, when it's safe to? And this is what he's learned from other people too, and from experience. I'll summarize that real quick, and then I'll share with a little more with you. But how to know when to quit your job? 3 suggestions. Number 1, you have no debt. Number 2, you have 6 to 12, I say 12 months of savings in the bank. And number 3, you could have lived off your network marketing business for the last 6 months. It's that stable. Because remember, things go up and down and are run in cycles. So if you could have lived off it the last 6 months, then likely you saved that. So there's your 6 months of savings right there. So that is what we recommend guidelines to follow for you and your team. That again is a sample of our thank you, Max. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for the likes and loves. And if anyone has a takeaway, I'd love to hear that. If anyone has a question, this is your chance to get coached by a network marketing coach. So please type those in. Also love to hear your insights and your thoughts about what you got today. What was the best thing that you heard? Can you use this? Can you put it to use? Meanwhile, I want to share with you a little bit about our Sunday night class, 9 p.m. Eastern Time every Sunday. We've been doing this for a couple of months now. We have people flocking onto this class from 5 countries. And what we teach is the 7 core commitments that include the 7 skills that Eric Worre teaches in his GoPro book. Those 7 skills are where to find people to talk to, inviting them to look at your business, presenting, follow up, sign them up, train them right, and including and getting them to events. Those are the 7 skills that are included in our 10 core commitments, which are tried and true from years and decades of the top earners network marketing. People know, people who've been in it for a while know that there are 10 core commitments, and that's what we teach because we want to teach the best. We want to teach the foundation. The 10 core commitments is getting started right, be here a year from now, personal development, market daily, present daily, attend weekly presentations and where you can bring your prospects, attend weekly trainings like the one we do on Sunday nights, attend a monthly regional, attend all company conventions, and have a monthly action plan so you always know what you're doing every month, what theme, what mission, and that it ties in with your overall bigger plan, your bigger goals and strategies for the year. And by the way, this is fall, and it's an excellent time to do a challenge, to consider doing a challenge if you're a network marketer and would like to get your business off the ground fast and make the very best of the rest of this year. This challenge should include your next company event coming up, and it should include, now that we're looking at the holidays coming up, it should include a Black Friday sale. Take advantage of that. I know Jeff said that his team did over $250,000 of sale in one day, and that was on a Black Friday. So I hope that you think about doing a challenge, that you think about maximizing and using Black Friday this fall, this season, for your business. You can offer your products, Christmas specials coming up and all that. Welcome, Patrick. So back to meeting Jeff. He told me this favor script, which is, hey, can I ask you a favor? I'd like to let you know what I do. in case you can refer somebody, in case you run across the right person, you can refer them to me. And that is simple but ingenious, you guys, because it's indirect. It's not about them. They're your friend. They want, you text this to 10 friends, by the way, eventually all your friends, but start out with just 10 and try that, text that. So it is indirect. It never gets a no, never gets an objection, because it's just about a referral. And the whole point is to do your presentation as many times as you can. He who presents the most wins, and this is in the form of your story. So then you say, is this a good time? And if they say yes, then you tell them your story. And your story should contain 5 components, 5 elements. And that is about the need for your product, the company, the comp plan, and the timing. Very, very simple, all in the form of your story. And we help people to do that. That's part of our Sunday Night Basics class. So when I learned about this, I thought, whoa, this is the best technique that I've ever seen. So I included that in my school. Jeff came on as a speaker. We eventually realized we're going to be teaching together. So we've been doing that now for 2 months. It's become a wildly popular class, and people are giving comments like the one that I got yesterday from Ed Aiken, and he says, the training last night was perfect. Just what I was looking for to eliminate some loose ends. This was simple, basic, and duplicatable. Thanks for what you do. And James Petzulo says, Jeff and Bess bring intangible qualities to the table. Regardless of experience, there isn't a single professional in this industry who wouldn't benefit from that. So these are just some of the feedbacks that we get, because we really intend, and I hope deliver, bringing you guys the very best that I've ever found. Over 10 years I've been running the MLM Millionaire Club, my school for network marketers, and gathering from my own experience as a full-time network marketer for years, and also studying and staying current with the top network marketing teachers that are out there now, including Eric, especially Eric Worre. I've put together the very best into the school for you. When I found out what Jeff was doing, I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to revamp things and teach this, because it's the best that I found, and I'm committed to bring you that. So that is how we met and ended up teaching together. Our class this Sunday night, if you want to check it out, I'll tell you, you'll be shocked at the price. I used to charge $400 a month for the membership in my school, and that is the calls, replays, tools, audios, business tools, and incredible value that was too. We're offering that and our Sunday night classes all for only $25 a month. So if that shocks you, in a good way I hope, and you want to check it out, just go to mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics. mlmmillionaireclub.com/basics. I'd love to see your results, see what let you experience it. There's no contract. You just come into the club and class and see what you think. It's generic, of course. People are bringing their teams, because this is the 10 core foundations that are excellent to keep drilling on and repeating again and again. There are there's some basics members on this call. Would anyone like to put a comment, what you're getting out of it, what you think of it so far, the benefits that you've gotten? I'd love to hear that. Also, any questions you have, well, this is a good time to put those in, because we take questions too. So I will put that link in the comments for you to make it easy for you to check out a little more about that Sunday night class. And here's another cool thing we're adding on, you guys. I need to remember to mention this. For those who join by the end of this month, you will be invited to a 3-month, $300 leadership test group for free. Jeff is a certified John Maxwell trainer, speaker, and coach, and that is how we can bring to you Leadership University, where we study one of John Maxwell's books a month, and we mastermind and learn from that. That starts It'll actually launch in January officially at $97 a month, but in October through December, we're going to do a 3-month test group where we want our, as a gift to our basic Sunday night class people, that $25 a month class. This is all, it's going to be open to all of these students as our gift, and in return for your feedback and for your testimonial. So you will be, if you join the class by the end of the month, I hope you join sooner so you can join us on Sunday and get the replays from the past ones. Hope you join as soon as possible. And you will be invited to that leadership class starting in October. So that's an extra perk for people. Hi Lucy, how are you? So now there's more people in the class on, and I'd love to hear from you how the class is going for you, what you like about it, if you'd recommend it to other people, or if you have any comments or questions. Or if you've got a takeaway today about when to quit your job, I'd love to hear that. So we'll just take a minute to take those, then we're going to close out in just a moment. Another fun thing is that we have lunchtime leadership shows for free. Facebook Live every lunch, noon Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Facebook Live at the Facebook group, MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. That Facebook group where you can pop on and have lunch with us and get your personal development in every day, which is one of the 10 core that I mentioned. Remember, personal development. That is at the Facebook group, MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. That's all free. Love to have you join that Facebook group, and you get notices and replays and a free book and all that stuff. The link again to check out our Sunday night class is that's focuses on the skills. That is MLMMillionaireClub.com/basics. Hi Denise, welcome. Denise is often on and all the people here are often on our lunchtime shows, so we get to meet with you. We had one today. On that Facebook group, you'll see all the replays from the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. So we are having the best time bringing all of these pieces to you because we want you to get results. We want you to succeed in your business. The Sunday night class is skills, and that advanced leadership test group that you will be invited to be part of is polishing you as a network marketer, as a leader, as a distributor of your products, and also as a teacher and leader and recruiter and trainer to polish you up. So thank you, Denise. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to sign off now, but let's continue the discussion here. Love to hear from you, and hope to see you in the Sunday class every Tuesday. 2 p.m. Central Time, I am here with a sample from that Sunday class. So we will see you next week, if not sooner, on the Sunday class. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Take care. Oh, just as a closer, some people have asked about the paintings behind me. Yes, I did these. Yes, I did these paintings. Just wanted to let you know, this is a picture of me, how I feel happy sometimes flying, as though I'm a bird flying. So that is a painting that I did, and another one that you've seen behind me a lot of times in the Facebook Lives is this one. These are oil paintings, and this was an image that I saw inwardly, and I had to paint it. It's sort of like going through a tunnel into the light, and so that's another painting. I've done a lot more. I used to paint and was a full-time artist and art teacher years ago. Actually, before I got into network marketing. And I got into that because it was a health product, and I wanted to help people with that health product. I got great results with it myself, and then I went into it. And then that company went out of business, and I went into the personal growth field, which still fit the healing field because it was about personal growth. So I went into that to help myself and then to help other people with personal and spiritual growth issues. which still continues today. That is why I'm called, why I am a body-mind therapist. I'm also called the shrink of MLM. That's what I've been called, because I help people have breakthroughs wherever they get stuck, to break through that. Um, if you would like any assistance with that, please private message me, because that's what I do. Here's another thing that I do. Helping network marketers through challenges. I mentioned a few minutes ago that fall is a very good time to do that. And I happen to have developed a state-of-the-art method of support and tools for helping network marketers through challenges. Thank you for the likes and loves, everybody. I talked with a six-figure earner at Eric Worre's GoPro event, and she said, I just completed my 90-day challenge. And I said, great, how did you do? She said, great. And I said, do you think you could have done better if you'd had a coach to help you through that? And she said, absolutely. Then I knew that it was validating what I was doing. So I have helped many people through challenges to maximize the time and energy they put in it. Some people have come with the goal of jumping a rank and they jump two. That's what's happened. That's not typical, but that has happened to people because they said it was due to the support that I gave them. Because stuff always does come up, both mindset and skills. So we hone their skills, clear their mindset, get them all polished up and ready, and they do that. If you are interested in that, you can private message me or go to the Facebook event. Reach your next rank fast and without struggle. The Facebook event. Reach your next rank. And you can either way, or private message me. You can find out more about it. So, I love bringing all these different tools to you guys. This makes my day. I love hearing your results. Thank you for hanging on this long, and watching. Any last chance for any questions, comments? You can still leave them. Thank you each. People need you. There are parents who need to be home with their kids. There are people who need to get out of abusive jobs. There are seniors who need to provide for a dignified retirement. There are students who need to pay off loans. That covers most of the people out there, I'll tell you. So these people need an answer. They need a solution. They're hurting. They're under stress or under the pressure, of the economy today. They need your products. They also need your business. So let's go out and spread the good word, help people. You have gold to share with people. Thank you, everybody, for all you do. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.